We're winning this fight. Friendly KEM Strike incoming.
Come with me if you want to get the cam.
It's turbo time.
What's up, Turbros? I'm back with yet another easy tutorial on how to get those KEM strikes. Now, if you're new to my channel, check out my KEM tips playlist I've created, and mostly, not all, but mostly every map will be covered for tips, and subscribe to stay updated on new strategies or tips. And before I start this tutorial, you're probably asking yourself, why should I listen to this guy? Well, I have a total of 29 KEM strikes, but I feel like I have enough experience to give you guys KEM tips, and I've only had 3 days of playing time on PS4 and 6 days on Xbox, so do the math, people, do the math. Every map I make guides on, I've gotten at least 2 to 3 KEMs using these strategies to make sure they've worked more than once. However, when you're dealing with KEM strikes, it's important to know that you're not always gonna be successful. A lot of unfortunate shit could happen, like a dog killing you after you killed the enemy, or you died because of a lag, or some stupid IED, killed you. And this is why my series is called a 99.9% effective strategy, because there's always that small chance that something could go wrong. But I can guarantee you that your chances of getting a KEM strike while running a strategy like this is going to be much higher than just running around. And most of my KEMs were on free-for-all. I'm mostly a solo player, but when I play with my subs or friends and I want to get a KEM, you could run these strategies, but all you really need is reliable teammates and for all of them to run support. It's just that simple. If you want to use my preferred KEM strike class setup, if you're interested in it, I'm gonna leave a link to the video in the description. So for Overlord, I found this area to be the best to perform this strategy on, and we're gonna be focusing on this area right here. It's a great vantage point because you're higher off the ground, and it'll be easier to predict your enemy's movement, and it's positioned perfectly between many spawn points, which is part of the reason why you will get KEMs easier. Spawn control and map knowledge, people. Anyway, so let's go over the spawns you're gonna need to pay attention to. So we have one here, one here, one here, and one underneath here. So when you're navigating through this area, it is important to keep an eye on your kill feed and watch the spawns. This is how you're going to know when to be looking at the spawn points I just showed you. We're going to be constantly moving, patrolling this whole area while staying alert at all times. Running Amplify and Dead Silence is essential to running these strategies because it allows you to hear which direction the enemy is coming from. And on this map, you're going to hear their footsteps so much clearer because of the sand. So what I do is I'm checking every spawn point and possible flanking routes in a quick, timely fashion, and I'm also pre-aiming to get ready for those surprises. Depending on how fast paced the game is, enemies will either spawn quickly or slowly. You just gotta be patient, but always be ready and pay attention to the kill feed. And when I'm turning corners, I'm always pre-aiming, and I'm cycling through every possible line of sight and spawn point. It's important to spot the enemy first before they spot you, and it's important to never have your back turned or aim in for too long. You're just gonna leave yourself vulnerable, and there goes your KEM. So it's important to never hang out in this small little building, and we're gonna call it the server room. You don't want to stay in here for too long. You could get trapped in there and it's not gonna be pretty, and you're not gonna be able to escape from the enemy. And I generally don't like staying in tight areas where you could get trapped, especially when you're gonna go for a KEM. That's just not a good idea. You're always gonna wanna position yourself in a place where you could always escape from the enemy. Unless there's a helo pilot outside, then that's when you want to go into the server room. Anyway, so what I usually do when I'm navigating this area is I stay close against the rocks or the walls outside of the server room. So this is important. You don't want your body too exposed, and be careful for people who spawn next to the server room. They're going to be passing either through inside or outside along the back, so you want to be conscious of that at all times, especially back here by the rocks. So that's why when I'm running this strategy, it's super important to stay on your toes. A little trick that I like to do whenever I know someone is passing behind the server room is to aim in underneath the platform and kill them from there. And then if they pass through the server room, more often than not, they're just gonna stand out there. So usually I just wait for them to pop out and then I go for the kill. And that's basically it for the strategy. I mean, it's super simple, it's easy to understand. So remember, be aware of your kill feed, run dead silence and amplify. Always pay attention to the spawn points. Pre-aim, stay against the walls and rocks when turning corners. Be patient and never ever run for a kill ever. Let them come to you. So try this strategy out. I hope this helps. And like I said before, any kind of bullshit is possible and it could happen. But your chances of getting a KEM Strike while running a strategy like this versus just running around are so much higher. And this is why it's easier to get a KEM Strike rather than just running around. So anyways, try these tips out. Who knows, it might work for you. It has worked for me. I've gotten 3 KEMs on this map using this strategy. Give this video a like if you want to see more tips. Drop comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see all my Turb Bros in the next video. Peace.